we can start the meetup. Actually, yes, it's our regular meetup of just to start where you are. After every contest, we have a meetup with winners and let them tell who they are, where they're from, and tell their story, and actually make a online demo of their application and show all the values, show all the hot things. And the typical agenda is that you have like about 10, maximum 15 minutes to make your demo and introduce yourself. And okay, today we have a meetup with winners of FHIR Accelerator as a service on AWS contest. It's InterSystems. It's new InterSystems managed service on Amazon. And my name is Evgeny Shvarov, and I manage developer ecosystem. And with the help of Anastasia Dubaila, we manage these contests. And I'm really glad to welcome you here, all participants and winners. And we also have in our discussion, in our meeting today, Patrick Jamison, who is a product manager of InterSystems of Iris for Health, and also Hedgela Souza. Hedgela, please introduce yourself. You have very beautiful title and very long. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm the product owner for the cloud strategy, and I'm helping to lead the Accelerator service and other strategies that we have in the company. But thank you, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also originally from Brazil. I see that I have 3 people from Brazil here, so it's good to see some Brazilians.
Yes, we already have thought that it's a Russian-Brazilian championship who performs better applications with InterSystems. Okay, Patrick, do you want to say something? Any welcome words? Yeah.
Yeah, I really appreciate all your participation in the contest. We had some really, I think, very good applications that came out of this. And I hope that you found that using the Accelerator service would make it easier for you to effectively launch and maintain a FHIR server. That was our goal. And so your feedback for this product is very valuable to us because we're looking to improve it. You know, this is our first really true managed service. And, you know, like most things, there'll be lots of iterations to come. But we're looking for, we really believe that that the future of FHIR is going to be innovative applications. And so you're the next wave of what we truly are betting our whole approach to FHIR on, is really enabling developers like yourself to build these innovative apps without having to have a lot of overhead in terms of the server. So congratulations, and I just want to thank you for your feedback with this contest.
So let me elaborate a little bit on that. Dmitry, I really appreciate the amount of feedback that you gave in the submit feedback there. A lot of things that Patrick now is working on, all that features that you think that is not really aligned with the FHIR standard. So that was a really nice interaction. Since we are just focusing on one thing, having someone having a different perspective was really nice. José, thank you for sending things, posting things on the GitHub as well. I really like the way that you basically did a tutorial for us on the FHIR Accelerator service. So that was really awesome. I really appreciate it, and I'm going to use some of your effort there to expose that to the public. That was really nice of you, even with some small videos and everything else. So I appreciate that. And Marcello, I know that you did a very interesting job as well with your application. I know that you had a last minute. I invite you in the middle of the contest, and you're like, oh yeah, great, I work with this, I want to jump in and do that. And I think your application was really nice. So again, congratulations everyone, and I really appreciate the specific feedback that you gave. And Marcelo, I'm looking forward to some of the things that you had to suggest as well. So don't forget that. I remember that you're going to comment a few things, and I'm waiting for your feedback.
Yeah, of course. And I can give you some of those the feedback even today, but I'm pretty sure I may need more than 10 minutes to I have some crazy ideas here, so
Don't worry.
I'm looking
We have
forward. Yep,
plenty of time to talk.
we have 10 years, yes, to talk.
Yes, and actually, Marcelo, you are a new person here to this audience. Please maybe start your intro and your demo. So please
Absolutely. Yeah.
tell us
So,
about where you're from, who you are, and
yeah, so Marcello Correa, right? I'm from Brazil. I currently live in the US. I moved here in 2008-9 to do my MBA. So, and then I stayed here and I find a job here, and now I'm living here, right? Basically. So I'm originally a mechanical engineer. My major is in mechanical engineer. That I probably worked like a month or so. After that, I started working with IT back in Brazil. There was a great need to have people with IT background, but most of the IT folks that were coming from engineering because we didn't have like a form we did. But anyways, I started working with IT. I worked for people in Brazil. I worked for CTIS. It's a company in Brasilia, right? Now it has been acquired by a much bigger company from Chile or something like that. But I worked as an IT consultant for many years, many years, like 8, 9 years, right? So I have this good background on technology, APIs. The things I was doing, I was focusing integration. When you talk with people, integration, people like, oh my God, don't talk to me about it. I hate integration. No, with me, it's exactly the opposite. I like the challenge. I like the technology. I like to learn a new authentication method so I can do my things better, right? So let's fast forward. So I moved to the US. So I'm working for a couple of companies. I don't want to be like do a free advertisement here, but I'm working for my main job, right? I'm a technical consultant for a big company, right? No worries, it's not a competitor of yours, right? No, we are totally different industries, right? But I work with that, right? There, and I also do freelance. I do things on the side, right? So things like that. There, I work integrating this tool with anything you may have in your enterprise, right? I do have some customers that are from the healthcare industry, right? I don't know if you is a customer of InterSystems or not, right? Because again, we are not competitors, but I see that these two I work with one day will interface, maybe get some data, right? I think I can tell it's kind of a ITSM, CSM solution, right? So I see one day interface with you guys to have some kind of connector, some kind of things, right? On top of that, a few years ago, before I joined the company I'm working today, I applied to be a part of the InterSystem, right? For whatever reason, it didn't. I wasn't selected. There was a couple other things, right? But I never lost the interest in the technology, right? You're a big company, right? You have your niche, your market, something that I really care, right? Who doesn't care about healthcare, right? You can live without a lot of things, but if you don't take care of yourself, right, you don't, right? So the healthcare is not going anywhere, right? And it's a way. And when I do my things, I like to you have to have some kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Meaning, right? I can work doing whatever for company A or do something more meaningful to help people. I would go and help people any day of the week. If you can do application that can help you manage whatever, or can help you save your life, extend your life, take care of your health, I would go with option B any day of the week, right? So didn't work, but I never lost the interest. So when I have the opportunity to help here, my goal was, to be honest, it was two things, twofold. The first one, to learn. I'm a big believe that education, learning, and training makes a difference, right? I'm a really believe on being a multiplier, right? You can be the best person in the world. You by yourself is not gonna go as far as 3 people that grinds every day and a hard worker, because the synergy when you have more people, right, beats, right? Of course, you can be like the one genius, etc. That's a different story. But I like to be a multiplier, and when I had a chance to do something for the good of InterSystems, for the good of the community, to help some folks, if I was able to help one people, I don't need 2 or 3. If I was able to help and one single person out there, I think I'm good, regardless of price or regardless of everything, because I have decided, right, to like helping people. So, am I good? 5 minutes. So I'm good. Bio.
Well,
Yes.
you still have to show your application.
Okay, ready?
So-
Application time.
And 2 minutes for application.
2 minutes for application. So let me share. I have it. Let's make sure. Google Chrome. So let's share. And please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
see
Yeah,
it.
so the goal here was to make like a boilerplate. I don't know if you guys have heard that expression, like a template, right? I want to show the power of your API, all the things you can do. You're not going to see everything possible here. This is just like a small demo, right? But the idea here is, hey, I can get this API to read values, right? And maybe we can create a dashboard. Maybe we can use that to power a small application in a mobile, right? I don't have a mobile here to show, but if you resize this, the goal was to help people, right? To help people, and this would be the way it would render in a mobile, right? Without going crazy and create a mobile app, right? We know there are native mobile apps out there, right? You can go and download some of those frameworks there. I think there's one for Google, there is one for Apple device. So, but the idea was especially a boilerplate for folks who understand your technology much better than I do, but has that gap of how I tie things together, right? So again, just a simple page. Whatever use case I showed here doesn't necessarily needs to be this. I created it just because there was no reason or use case or requirement to use that. I just was playing with your API and got some of the entities, those data points that make sense to me. So I apologize if I didn't get a good one here, but I tried to do a couple of things. Once we treated the patients, for example, I'm leveraging a couple of technologies here, right? And again, you don't have to use that. It's just ways to show what is possible, right? What's the art of the possible, right? So what I'm using here, I'm using basically 2 things. They are open source. I didn't want to put anything that's proprietary and requires to pay license. So we are seeing here Angular. Okay, Angular is this JavaScript framework that you use so you don't have to write your own piece of code and test. So smart people there were kind enough to create those frameworks. So this is one of the versions. I listed into GitHub which one we're using. I also using, because I'm terrible, I'm gonna tell you, with UI. UI is not my thing, right? So I rely on the Bootstrap, right? So all the credits here go to Bootstrap, right? That it makes this looks really nice, right? Of course, I moved a couple of things around, but usually what is see here, whenever you pick one of these resources, right? You go to a list page, right? These I can even show in my code. I created some components that you can reuse over and over and over. So most of my work was to create one resource. Everything else is almost like copy and paste, right? So you get productivity on that. I was trying to show a couple of things. For example, some pagination, nothing fancy, right? Nothing fancy. I try to show also, there is a little example for people learn how to order by some columns, right? Nothing fancy also. right? I tried, let me put this little thing here. I tried to add, a little refresh where you would just refresh this without refresh the whole page, right? What else? Again, this was a demo. I was hoping to put way more hours here, but in the end of the day, I wasn't. But again, some things I have seen out there is sometimes you want to export. This is not working today, right? It's a demo application, but some things that people like to do out there is to be able to export data in multiple formats, right? These I had time to do a couple of things. So again, just some visual things, right? Right now I think I'm showing what 10 each row. Maybe we want to show 5 each row. Maybe we want to show more. Silly stuff, but that's the silly stuff that will differentiate your application from being, just one more around, between many others, or is that that little one that's a little bit easier to use, offer a little bit more details, right? And it's a difference, so they will pick your application over somebody else, right? Once you decide which one, oh, and there's also some search, for example, let's get Daryl, right? Nothing fancy, but oops, if I spell right, was Daryl? Daryl, oops. Oh, let's get this one, dominate, whatever, right? So if I get that person, you're gonna see again, most applications are like that. I didn't invent anything new here, right? So you see some more details, right? But one of the things I also put on my code is usually when you go to a master record, whatever is the master record, right, you're going to have some kind of related list, right, related tables at the bottom. Usually it's at the bottom, right? And I decided to put this, again, no particular order. I just got a couple of things there, right? So whoever is this person here is filtering just to see the conditions, allergies, or this person is good, he doesn't have any allergy yet, right? But the person went to the doctor a couple of times, you see a bunch of times, should I say, and so on, right? A couple of the things just to show the power of what Angular could do, but not on Angular. There's a couple of other frameworks out there that does the same. Just look at this guy. Something kind of, I can dynamically, change some fields. Maybe would be currency, maybe would be time. Just one example, right? In the code, you can see more details how this is done. Also, if you don't want to put here, you can maybe put down here or something like that. Look, it should change here. What else? So this is, even though it's on a different page, this is built upon that component I showed before. Good. I started. I don't think I ended up, but I think this is a demo. But I think the next thing we can do, and I think I will end up doing, regardless of the end of the contest or not, right? Because this is my hobby, by the way. If you can tell, I like doing that just because, right? So I may even, I think from here I can do. I don't know if I was able to do. Yes. So I haven't, but to do, because right now I'm just doing reads, right? But I want to put at least out there some kind of post so we can save or put, so we can save some of this data back in the API, right? Don't expect me to be really fancy, right? But at least put a end-to-end example for people in the community, right? That's on part of my, if you go here, my thing here is not done, right? It's not done. I will do a couple other things, right? Remember the export, I planning to do that. I planning to maybe move over, to the latest and greatest version of those two technologies. But yes, so guys, this is what we have for you, right?
Okay.
This is more of the same. And if you have any question, please let me know.
Marcello, thank you so much. There is so much functionality that we even don't have enough time to demo all this. But thank you, this is really great. And Angelo, Patrick, do you have any questions to Marcello on that?
I have a lot of questions, especially on his experience. I know that this is the first time that he's building something on our technology. And I was just wondering how easy it was for you to get to this point.
Okay, so I had a couple of things. Every developer has a couple of things in his back pocket. That's no. But I was surprised by two things, right? The API documentation, I know you guys use, you know, which one you guys are using for the API documentation? I think it's
Swagger.
So I noticed it was, first thing is really comprehensive. I can tell you that. I'm doing that for a long time. So I know when I see something bad and I know when I see something good, right? So I can tell you it's really comprehensive. The documentation is really good. It was really easy, right? Easy because you do that every day, yeah, sure. But I think even a person without a lot of experience would be able to get to the other side, right? I don't believe you know, it would be hard for even with a junior developer to get to the other side, right? Maybe some videos. The other thing I noticed, there's a couple things I would like to have seen, right, in the API. Maybe I didn't see, but I would like to have a couple control of a couple ways the response happens, right? I don't know if I would say just now, but for example, I would like to have an option to order by, you know, the result set. And if it's there,
Sort.
apologies, yes, to sort. I don't
Yep,
know
that's
if
there. It's supported.
yeah, so good. So I need to do my homework and find it. So this is good. Another thing is to control sometimes what of those the JSON that comes back. Maybe I don't need that much, especially if I'm doing a mobile application. If
You
I
can
can
limit.
Yeah.
Yep.
good. Okay, so
Marcello, I'm sorry interrupting you a little bit, but we have like a limited time and
okay.
to talk. I'm going to suggest to get a meeting with you later so we can discuss further. I think that is going to have a good feedback to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Marcelo, yeah, great, fantastic feedback, great story, amazing. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Yes, and now I want to give the floor to Dmitry and to introduce yourself. Even though everybody knows you, that please do that and make a demo of your application. Okay.
Hi, I'm Dmitry Maslennikov. Yeah, almost everybody already knows me, but who don't know, like maybe Marcello, I'm a moderator on developer community and have 14 years experience with InterSystems technologies. And yeah, and some years ago, about 5 years ago, in one of the companies I worked there, it was in Czech Republic. I tried to play with FHIR, when it was just almost the beginning of FHIR at all, and even no iris or iris for health at that time. And but company decided do not go with FHIR that time, but a year later they switched, they changed its mind and decided to go with FHIR. But now I not there, and it was just almost only my one experience with any health care project. And yeah, I have lots of projects, but not so much in healthcare. But for this contest, I thought that, like, yeah, we already have FHIR. We don't need any local server at all. Just we already have it. And I thought what I could do with it. And actually, very recently for the previous contest, I did Grafana plugin. Like, it's a visualization. It's some graphs, something like this. And I thought maybe I could do, could connect Grafana to FHIR, but decided not to go with Grafana, but to change something to something more better just for this kind of data. And I found Data Studio from Google. It's a very beautiful reports generator. It supports many, it's even hundreds of data source plugins. And so I decided to make my own just for FHIR. I looked for their marketplace for any FHIR connector, didn't find. So why not? Decided to start new one. And it was quite simple. In fact, due to it's just JavaScript mostly, but on in their editor. So I'll share my screen. Screen. Yep. It's my GitHub repo. So everything here in JavaScript. And so I can just create, do some REST queries to FHIR endpoint. There are few points here, just how to configure it. So it's just define here in field for FHIR endpoint, where to place API key, and it's a data source, and it needs just only like one table with data. So I decided to place on this layer resource name and just hard-coded a few ones, and also resource ID. And I use it only just for patients. And I have split it for few scripts just for clear view. And just main doing all the connectivity with file server. So just doing fetch data from API, my endpoint, resource, and query. If I would need just query some fields, filters, and so on, and I pass API key. That's it. And all my logic is go to just for each resource I have personal script. And here I have, so it's a kind of like BI. So you have to define some dimensions, some metrics. So I decided to use some define few dimensions. And if I have a resource ID, so it's just personal, own personal dimensions. So I have few different ones, and not for a person, just for all patients. Some statistical information. So I just have it's just for counters, and gender, age, and so on. And my logic goes here. I fetch the data from JSON, parse it, and count it by measures, by dimensions, and to return it to the server. And in this way, it's just getting observation for particular person, and I just have coded codes for specific measures, and parse it and return back to Data Studio. So how it looks like? It looks like this. It should be with the map as well. Maybe it's just issue with internet speed. But so I have here a counter of practice owners, table of where they are, how many. I had some issues with filter with filter. With filter by date, I wanted, what if I, it's Data Studio allows to set it filter by date. So you can just period of data and it will show what you want to see just in this period. It should be filled with all the data, but maybe my backend already died, so it's not showing. And it's working. And in this case, it's just only for this particular patient, and they can even enter from some list of existing patient, change focus, and it will request directly from FHIR server and shows it. And I can add anything, any data, so how it looks like. So I have here available fields. I can change it. Like, let's go here, climb by, and I can even change representation of the field if I just have data time, and I can just split it by year, by quarter, and so on. And climbs, it just as a zoom, maybe average. Yeah. So yeah, lots of things can be done here. And what's very interesting with FHIR or with Data Studio, it's actually has map loaded. It can filter very easily. Just when you select any measure, it's just filter everything else filters by just shows only female and statistics for female and so on. And one thing that we don't need to call our FHIR server every time when we show when we see the report. It can it has just one more data source plugin just provided by Google, and it can just kind of prefetch data and update it periodically. So it has this information like last time it was updated on 1st of June, and I can just press it and it will update it from server at the moment, or I can say repeat it daily, update it every day, and so on. So I don't need to call FHIR server every time. And yeah, it's possible to periodically create some beautiful reports with it. And yeah, I even now thinking how to extend this functionality to some other stuff from InterSystems, like maybe provide another view for BI in InterSystems. And one more things that, yeah, it's also has just simple explorer, just with it's a fair question to motivate. So it's possible to create this maybe same. Okay. Oh, that shows data, so you can just play with your data here. And I think maybe if it will be possible, if will be useful, I can add my data source to this marketplace. At the moment, it's visible here just only for me, but maybe I can make it available for everybody even.
That would be great.
How it would look like, how in real life, just select, enter here file endpoint, API key, select the source, maybe enter ID and connect it. And that's it. You have connectivity to data. So I think it's enough for now.
Looks very easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Dmitry, thank you so much. Very impressive and promising. Like, looks like a good beginning for the function, for very impressive future application and plugin. Thanks for that demo and thanks for the participation. Patrick Hedgela, do you have any questions?
I have the opposite question for that I post for Marcello. You that have a lot of experience in our technology, do you feel that there was missing any of the granularity that you need to do your work? Do you think that you need to have more access to anything to do a better work?
There are few things that I'm missing. If just saying about just FHIR itself of InterSystems, but I will not share it here. It's too much to say a bit. It's like from my first experience with FHIR and with current experience, and with I already shared few my issues recently, and if measure it from InterSystems experience, I actually don't see any issues because this works as I would expect it for services like this. You don't have to have access to the low level, like to Iris itself. It should be managed just by this service. So how it's supposed to be, and everything just have to be from this layer, and it looks okay. Just few things we face it during the contest with the UI, like issues with importing bundles and so on. But I hope it will be fixed soon, and it will be great again. Yeah, but yeah, everything looks good to me.
Excellent. Yeah, regarding the bundles, we are thinking in incorporating the HL7 validator for FHIR. And that is going to give a more visibility for people to know why the bundle is not being imported or not. And of course, that hanging that your experience there is addressed already. But I also would like to have a meeting with you
Yeah.
to discuss all the features, all the things that would be interesting to incorporate in the product as well.
Yes, sure.
Awesome. Thank you, Dmitry.
Thank you,
Patrick?
Dmitry. Mhm.
Yes, I have a
Thanks.
question.
Okay, and we have our third winner. It's a team. It's a team of two brave guys, Enrique Diaz and José Roberto Pereira. José, Enrique, could you please introduce yourself and make the demo? So
Sure.
it's your turn now.
Let's start. Okay, thank you. Let's share my screen so make it easier for everyone. See my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. So Jose and I create a Iris on FHIR to show not just the application, but try to extract the power behind the FHIR as a service. We, in the last year, we created two separate projects using FHIR, right? But the idea here was using FHIR exactly as they said here as a service. So in past, we relied a lot on Objective-C and in Iris itself to create cubes, dashboards. So here. So we create a team to try to create something different, a little more crafted, to show the potential. So I'm Henrique Diaz. I'm 37 years old, married, and work with InterSystems technology since 2003. And nowadays I'm working as a DBA at São Paulo Federal Corp. How about you, José?
Guys, I'm same. And I'm working in a healthcare company here called Shift. I'm working with InterSystems technology since 2010, and that is it. I like to use our products.
Okay, let's move on. About the project, we create an application showing a few fronts here. Last year, I create something called Iris FHIR portal, and the project itself was good, but I think it was kind of simple in terms of interface and UI. But I saw that was something really good to others create something better and great, as Guilherme and people from InterSystems Japan use it to demonstrate something, to create something else, using as my project as a base. So I discussed with José to create something like that, but a little more thinking about few research, but very good to make easier to everyone take advantage. So we create something for patients, lab results, appointments, and also a Telegram. That's something really good. Here. So here is a patient list using the research patient, listing a few details about the patient, and here using the specific research for the patient, given the patient ID, we can retrieve a lot of information for a few resources here that I use encounters, lab results, observation, right? Lab results and patient claims. So here we have a few information about the items, the insurance cover, the provider, the date, lab tests they have, and the lab results using only the Smart on FHIR client in JavaScript. Just I create a really good appointment using the research appointments. So not just for reading, but also create, updating, delete the events here, or in the case, the appointments, right? So I'll give the word to José. I stop sharing my screen right now. Oh, stop sharing.
Thank you, Henrique. I will share my screen.
Jose, could you please also make your voice a bit louder?
Oh, of course.
A little bit.
Are you clear now? Okay.
Yep.
As Henrique said, I used the appointment resource in order to make a crew on appointments. So, as Marcello said, the Swagger interface was really awesome because you can try some requests for FHIR, but also this interface shows you nice examples on how to use the resources. In the past, in a previous contest, I'm trying to use the appointment resource, but I'm trying to read the HL7 documentation, but I find it really hard to understand. It's big. It's big documentation, so it's hard to start to do something from zero, from scratch. And the Swagger interface provides you resource examples for any resource that InterSystems FHIR provides you. So basically, I got the resource example for post operation and use it as a template for the crew that I did here. And as there's not much effort to do that, I'm trying to do something a little bit move forward. The OpenSage community has nice examples on how to use Telegram bots, and I'm using one of those examples and working a bit around and use the resource FHIR, the appointment resource FHIR to do a single bot to do appointments. So first, let me choose. Okay, I will book appointment for June 15. There is no appointment here now, so let's try to use the bot. So I start with a greeting message, and the bot respond. So for this example, just one operation, but you could program any operation. Oh, sorry. First is is not the operation, is actually the ID, the patient ID. So okay, now I'm type the operation, in this case just one, the book, to book appointment. Now the date, so June 15. Okay, confirmed June 15. I would like to book to 11 a.m. I confirm. And now hope to work. Okay. So now let's date here. And now I have my appointment to June 15, 11 a.m. So there is what I'm working for this contest. If you have any question, please go ahead. Thank you.
José, Enrique, amazing. I have a telegram. May I have an appointment to your hospital?
We don't have a Moscow based yet, but if you're allowed to travel to,
Fly to
I don't know, Brazil, come here.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Do we have any questions to Enrique and José?
I just have a comment. I think that it was really nice application that you built, and the integration with Telegram, it was really stunning. So I hope that you continue evolving that. I think it's going to get on a point that you can even commercialize that, especially in Brazil, that is very complex health system. If it is not the biggest, it's one of the biggest health systems in the country. A lot of problems with appointments and getting the feedback from lab results and everything else, different from US that you can get everything right away. So I think that is a great path moving forward. So congratulations on that.
And I
Yeah.
definitely echo Angelo's comments. Good job.
Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah, amazing.
Actually, if we can point something, will be, I know FHIR as a service is growing and having new features. I hope so. But to create something like a dashboard, we would like to have a better resources from FHIR as a service. So given 2 dates, and they can count in group and give just the results. So our data set was small, but I think in big data sets, call every day and counting everything, just using the library, the client side, it's not so good. So to create something in close to real life, I think this kind of approach would be better to give us more resources to develop dashboards and counting graphs for the last week and 2 weeks last month today. So that's it. Just a suggestion for new features.
So just to reply to that, yes, we are promoting new code, new features every 2 weeks. There is no plan to stop anytime soon. Actually, we are just beginning on that. And your feedback on this is great. We were thinking something similar to that, but now we can prioritize the better way. So, and I also would like to have a meeting with you too, especially because I really know well the Brazilian healthcare. I used to work for the World Health Organization based in Brazil. So I was in the Minister of Health there, and I know how complicated it is passing information from city to state and the federal government. I think that it's going to be a good way that you can improve the healthcare in Brazil. I know that it's just an appointment there, but then get the information back to the right systems and providing the claims that you have to do the government is going to be very interesting. So thank you for that.
Anytime.
Okay, thank you guys, and thank you to all who participated and provided feedback. I see Nigel here, so Nigel, hi. So you did a great feedback, and your help to develop the beta service was really great, and so thank you all. And I hope that
Can I just speak one thing with Nigel?
okay,
Nigel,
sure.
thank you for sending the feedback as well. I was really looking forward to see your application. I'm sorry that you couldn't deliver that, but we are going to build another contest just so I can see your application, because that was such a great idea that you had. So, but anyway, I also send a few things in Discord for you for the recent feedback that you sent. I hope that you saw that, and we can work on the happy thing that you submitted.
Yeah, the biggest problem I had was I needed to load in lots of medications. You know, my whole application was based around pharmacy dispensing and robots and what have you. At the moment, what we have in Iris FHIR R4 is essentially the US core code sets and what have you, so medications and things. Now, that's fine if you are using the SNOMED coding system. In South Africa, we use a different standard called NAPI. And more to the point, we're concerned about packaging, yeah, because the robots are storing the medications based on the dimensions and type of packaging, including bottles, you know, all kinds of weird shapes. They have these three-dimensional scanners that will scan the entire package before deciding where they're going to position it. Some of that is straightforward. It's within the standard, including manufacturers and dimensions and what have you. At the end of the day, I needed to load too many code sets and value sets and what have you, and the upload feature was a real problem, and even trying to post things through Postman didn't help. Yeah, so, but people have commented on that, and
yeah, Nigel, sorry, you actually you did a lot to make it better, this the loading feature, and thank you so much. And so, guys, actually time goes really fast, and we actually run out of our time of the meeting. And as Angelo said, there will be a next contest soon regarding FHIR, and we hope to see your great applications or maybe this one better, but better in a better shape in the next contest. And actually the literally next contest will start in 2 weeks. This will be, the topic will be AI. So stay tuned on InterSystems developer community, and be healthy and have a great weekend.
thank you.
Obrigado, спасибо.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye. See you.
Bye-bye.